India's diversity is legendary. North and South people look, speak, and live differently. For generations, scholars have debated why, and one of the most influential ideas is the Arya-Dravidian theory. This theory claims that two ancient groups, the Aryans and the Dravidians, shaped India's population. Aryans, it says, migrated from Central Asia, bringing new languages and beliefs, while Dravidians were the original inhabitants, possibly the builders of the Indus Valley civilization. The theory emerged in the 19th century when British scholars noticed similarities between Sanskrit and European languages, leading to the idea of Indo-Aryan migration. To explain the South's distinct languages and cultures, they proposed a separate Dravidian identity. This model became a powerful lens for viewing Indian history, but it's far from settled fact. New evidence from archaeology, linguistics, and genetics has complicated the story. Instead of two separate peoples, we now see a long history of mixing and cultural exchange. The Arya-Dravidian theory is being re-examined, revealing a far richer and more nuanced past. Understanding this debate isn't just about history, it shapes how Indians see themselves today. Let's explore how this theory tried to explain India's diversity. The Arya-Dravidian theory aimed to explain India's sharp linguistic divide. Indo-Aryan languages in the north, Dravidian languages in the south. It suggested Aryans brought their languages during migration, while Dravidian tongues were native. The theory also tried to account for cultural and social differences. Rural, mobile Aryans versus urban city-building Dravidians. Colonial scholars added a racial angle, describing Aryans as lighter-skinned and Dravidians as darker, fueling social divisions. This narrative was used to justify the caste system, claiming upper castes descended from Aryans and lower castes from Dravidians. Modern research shows caste and social structures are far more complex. Still, the legacy of this theory continues to influence Indian society and politics. But who were the Aryans really? The term Arya meant noble in Sanskrit, describing a cultural group, not a race. These people spoke Indo-European languages, likely originating from the Central Asian steppes. They were semi-nomadic pastoralists, skilled with horses and chariots. The Rig Veda, their oldest text, offers a glimpse into their world, rural, tribal, and centered on fire rituals. There's no mention of cities or monumental architecture. Society was organized around clans and cattle. Linguistic evidence links Vedic Sanskrit to ancient Iranian and European languages, tracing a migration into India. The Aryans were not conquerors of cities, but mobile people whose language and culture spread across the north. Long before the Aryans, the Indus Valley civilization thrived. Urban, literate, and highly organized. Cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro boasted advanced planning, sanitation, and trade networks. Their script remains undeciphered, but their influence was vast. The civilization declined around 1900 BCE, likely due to climate change and shifting rivers. Many historians believe the Indus people spoke an early Dravidian language. The Brahui, a Dravidian-speaking group in Pakistan, may be a remnant of this ancient population. If true, Dravidians were not conquered, but the creators of India's first great civilization. This challenges the old narrative of defeat and displacement. Linguistics shows a clear north-south language divide, supporting the idea of migration. Indo-Aryan languages link to Europe, while Dravidian languages are unique to India. Archaeology, however, finds no evidence of a violent Aryan invasion. No destruction layers, no mass graves. The Indus decline was gradual, likely environmental, and there's a gap before the Rig Veda appears. Genetics has revolutionized the debate. Ancient DNA reveals a migration from the Central Asian steppes into India around 1500 BCE. Modern northern Indians, especially upper castes, have more steppe ancestry. The Rig Veda itself hints at gradual migration and interaction, not conquest. It describes battles with Dasa peoples, possibly memories of encounters with post-Harappan groups. The evidence points to migration, mixing, and cultural exchange, not simple replacement. So what does modern DNA really tell us? Genetics shows India's people are not simply Aryan or Dravidian, but a blend of ancient migrations. Two main ancestral groups, Ancestral North Indian, ANI, and Ancestral South Indian, ASI, form the genetic foundation. ANI is linked to Central Asia and Europe, while ASI is unique to the subcontinent, tracing back to the earliest settlers from Africa. Every Indian group is a mix of both, with proportions varying by region and caste. North Indians and upper castes have more ANI. South Indians and tribal groups have more ASI. This genetic gradient matches linguistic and archaeological patterns. Mixing continued for millennia, but around 2,000 years ago, endogamy and caste rules slowed it down. Today's diversity is built on a shared, mixed heritage. The real story is one of unity through blending, not division. India's history is not Aryans versus Dravidians. It's a story of synthesis. Languages and cultures have mingled for millennia, borrowing words and ideas across the north-south divide. Colonial interpretations exaggerated conflict, using the Aryan invasion myth to justify rule and reinforce caste. In the south, the theory fueled separate Dravidian identity politics, but modern science reveals a deeply integrated heritage. The builders of Harappan cities, Vedic poets, and ancient hunter-gatherers are all ancestors of today's Indians. There is no pure Aryan or Dravidian, only a shared, complex past. India's strength lies in its unity in diversity, forged by centuries of mixing and exchange. Celebrating this shared heritage is far more powerful than clinging to old divisions. Thank you.